Good afternoon, Yankees Nation. I'm Ken, and you're here with the ugly truth. Uh, Sorry for the delay in program. I know on Joe's show this morning I said I was going to be on at 1:30, but I had an unexpected guest appearance on 161 River Ave with Jason. Hey Tommy, how's it going? And I want to extend my appreciation to him for having him or for him having me on. Give a shout out to some of the folks that are here right now. Jonathan, CT Cards, Guy, Stephen B, Tommy, and Nancy, and Jason Custodio. And the topic for today's discussion is going to be what the hell is going on with the Yankees? And as you could tell from my thumbnail, there was a dumpster that was on fire, and it appears that we have a dumpster fire going on right now. Hey, Chris, how's it going? Today is a completely unscripted show, and I'm going to open the forum up to bring people up. But as you all know, as Yankee fans, this has been a freaking brutal 2 weeks for us. Not looking like the Yankees whatsoever. The team is amassing strikeouts and no hits and has been shut out on 3 consecutive games. One by the Red Sox, who always play us hard, and 2 by the hapless Angels, which for the life of me, I can't figure out why we can't hit them and why we can't seem to score against them. But it is what it is. The team is much better than it's performing, and I honestly don't have an explanation what's going on. I know that one of the forefront items that I've always talked about when it is with regard to this team is their ability to show patience and be able to drive pitch counts up on pitchers and get them out of the game reasonably quick. How's it going, Stephen B? Welcome, Dev. So, with that being said, anyone who wants to come up, the door is open. I've dropped the link. I think I dropped the link. If not, I'll drop it again. And come on up and let's talk baseball. Let's see. The shenanigans begin already. CT Cards. Watch out for this Stephen B character. He's up to no good. I subscribe that anybody who has not been up to good has a partner in crime, and I think that might be you, CT, the behind-the-scenes instigator. Certainly on the coffee, bagels, and pancakes show. And let's see, we have a little bit of news from Jonathan. Sounds like the Rays could be sold by the end of the year. Would that necessarily be a bad thing? It moves last night. The Yankees activated JT Brubaker and brought him to the roster. And the corresponding move to that was Scott Efros being sent down to the minors once again. I'm sure it probably has something to do with options, but Efros. All right. See, breaking news from Jonathan. Rays baseball are in advanced talks to sell the team to a group led by Jackson, Florida developer Patrick Zalupski. Zalupski has signed a letter of intent to purchase the team. So, does that mean that he's going to move the ball club to Jackson, or is he going to stay in the Tampa area? I know that in Jacksonville they have, I believe it's the Phillies, one of the Phillies minor league associates, the Jumbo Shrimp. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out, or whether they're looking at moving them out of state, which has been talked about. More to follow, I'm sure. Let's see. Chris has got jokes. I don't know what's worse, cigarettes or the Yankees offense. Yeah. Tennessee needs a team. There are a lot of places that need a team. Why California has 5 of them, I have no freaking idea, but it is what it is. We have all these opinions and nobody wanted to jump up. All right. Well, we'll continue talking baseball. Tonight in the Bronx, the Yankees will be facing off against the Angels in the third of 4 games. And I have my first taker of the day. CT Cards. How's it going, brother?
Hey, how you doing? How's everybody in the chat
doing?
I
couldn't be happier if I was twins.
It was cool to see you on 161's channel today. That was cool.
Yeah, we did a little baseball talk on 161 River Ave today. Talked about some under the radar type acquisitions. There was an interesting article that came out from Ken Rosenthal's group at The Athletic talking about potential teams that would be sellers. They listed the number 1 team that they had as the Diamondbacks, making many assets available. Stephen B., I didn't realize that you were a twerker. Please don't take a video and show us that. I don't think that I could take it.
So, Ken, what do you think you are tonight?
Ryan has done a good job against light-hitting teams. He faced the Angels in L.A. 2 weeks ago, and he gave up a leadoff home run to Zach Neto, but past that, he held him to donuts. So I'm not feeling that he's going to have a bad outing against him. I think he's going to be falling into the trend that we saw from Max Fried, Clark Schmidt, and Will Warren last night with regard to the performances. The differential is going to be the bats, whether they can get Jobu in there to smoke a cigar and wake those bats up. I don't suspect that we're going to be shut out for the 4th straight night in a row. However, you never can tell.
Speaking of Will Warren, last night, other than the 3 runs, and I thought he had a great start, and we should be able to score 3 runs. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I looked at it. A lot of people were like, "Oh, Warren gave up 3 runs." I'm like, 3 runs. Our offense should be putting 4 or 5 runs on the board with the type of offense we have. But we're just, I know you don't like to call it a funk, but I'll call it a funk. But Hopefully we get out of it tonight.
All right. Let's have somebody else backstage.
Steve is either going to kill me if I keep showing that picture.
Hello, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. I just saw like your open panel stream. Just wondered if I could join in.
Welcome.
All right.
Oh,
Are
thank
you
you
a
for having me. Is my audio okay? No issues?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh, good.
But what do you look like?
I don't have a face.
Just messing with you.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'm not going to do anything to the stream. You know.
Want to welcome Everyday Mets also, and is it Bino Weiss?
I'm in the UK, you see, so I don't really do baseball.
Not a problem. You're in the UK. People, people in the UK follow baseball.
They
We
do,
have,
yes.
subscribers. We have subscribers that are around the world.
Oh yeah,
Down
no,
in
baseball
New
is
Zealand.
yeah, it's a very popular sport. It's just I don't follow it myself.
I see. Jonathan's got jokes for you. Maid Marian on the stream. So
Yeah,
you'll find that we're an active channel. We have a lot of jokesters in here. How do you pronounce your handle?
Oh, just say bear. It's a lot easier.
Hi, Bear.
All right. Hey, Guy. Welcome to the stream.
Oh, thank you for having me.
You're welcome. We're talking the funk that the Yankees have been in over the last few days. They've been shut out over the last 3 games and have not really been hitting well. And it's a team that's built that definitely has the potential, has been averaging over 5.5 runs a game. And over the last couple of weeks, it's a miracle if we're scoring 1 run, much more or less nothing. It's shocking. I was going to say,
then is it still the same lineup from last season, or is there any like new players into the fray?
Sure, there are a lot of new players, but the problem is that our star hitter Aaron Judge has gone cold. He is getting put out at an alarming rate, and when he goes down, it seems that the entire lineup has done the same thing, followed suit. Hey, Sean Browning, appreciate you being here, brother. There's some aspects of it, in the past, the Yankees have been very patient hitters, have allowed the other pitchers to work themselves into trouble and get into bad counts, get their pitch counts up, and then get taken out of the game where you face weaker bullpen arms. And that's where we've been able to make our mark. But it seems that we're not patient. We're not getting to the bullpen. And when the bullpen is coming up against us, we're not doing anything against them either.
Could you say then that because it's like the beginning of the first few games, could you say it's a warm up and they're getting into the stride, or is it this is a sign of things to come and the rest of their season is just going to be plagued?
I don't. The history of the Yankees and the lineup itself precludes any prolonged slump like this where the season is going to be wrecked. The Yankees atypically make good moves at the trade deadline that bring in help. And this year, our lineup's got some holes in it and definitely needs some help. A lot of the fans that are in the Yankee universe fan base are wanting to pick up high-profile players such as Arenado from the Cardinals, a third baseman, pitchers.
So I was going to say, then with the new players that the Yankees have brought on, is it professionals or is it more like amateurs that have like transgressed to like the big leagues?
No, they got Goldschmidt,
No.
Bellinger. They got some good players this offseason.
Oh, okay then.
Sorry, Ken.
Talented professional hitters with longevity in the league of success. But as in any major sport, when you transition from one team to another, different cities and environments, fan bases, you tend to have a transition period. It seemed very short for the most part.
Not to mention the chemistry
And
of the team, because you need them all working together, and if there's one person that's not fusing with the other, it can have a knock-on effect.
Kind of like what happened with the Red Sox
the
and
Yankees,
Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
the Yankees have been very good at minding team chemistry. Plus, they have a tendency to talk to the senior leaders on the team when making big moves to see how they feel, how the team will adjust to the new players. There are some guys out there, pitchers, for instance, that are decent pitchers but have a bad personal track record with their own ethics in the way they conduct themselves, and that's not the Yankee way.
So the coach for the Yankees is, would you say he's good, or would you say he's not performing to standard?
Well, that's a heated debate in Yankee universe.
Yeah.
About 90% of them tend to well, the coach or the manager in baseball tends to be for the fall guy for everything that's screwed up. And in New York, the media is so intense that he has taken lumps left, right, and center. But when you look at the actual numbers for this coach, he has the sixth highest winning percentage in the history of baseball. He took us to the World Series, the championship last year for the first time in 15 years. And people were ticked that he didn't get fired at the end of the season.
So I'm guessing then you're not a person who goes, oh, it's the coach's fault or the manager's fault. It's down to the individual player.
Well, you can coach all you want. You can set up strategies. You can dictate things. But the people that actually have to execute the plan are the players that are on the field. The manager is not on the field. The manager is not out there dropping balls that are hit straight at him. The manager is not diving at balls that he has no chance of possibly making. That's the player. That's not the manager that's out there taking swings at balls that are on the other side of the plate that you'd have to be 8 foot with a 12-foot wingspan to even make contact.
Oh, yeah, no, true.
So,
I'm definitely with your perspective on that, where it's not completely down to the manager or the coach. It is down to the player.
I agree.
So one of the things that I always tend to ask when everyone wants to fire the manager or the general manager or have the owner sell the team is, all right, who do you want to replace him with? And I don't ever seem to get a good answer on that. It's a lot of crickets.
It's kind of like
sort of like listening to rain on the windows.
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah, because I mean, you could have a successful manager for a successful team, but if he goes to another team, there are a lot of obstacles he has to face, such as like what are the finances of the team? Like, who can I bring in? Who can I not bring in? How does the team play? How do they set up? It's it's not always down to we need to bring in a manager who's completely going to turn things around and it's going to be home runs all season. It's what he has to face when he transfers to a different team.
I agree. Yeah, very well said.
Exactly.
Very well said.
And,
if you've got a manager of like a little league team and he's doing completely well and all successful, do you think that is going to transfer over to like one of the big league teams because he's done really well in the little leagues, so that must mean he's going to do really well in the big leagues?
Well, for here we call it the minor leagues, and that's where the developmental players are at. And there's been a lot of discussion about that.
Oh, little leagues is like the with the kids, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's children. Minor leagues are professional players who have been drafted from either the high school level or the collegiate level that have the skill sets that can interpret to big league play. But when you look at the big scale of things, and this is one of the points that I try to bring up with my particular audience, there are about 720 actual Major League Baseball players for the season. there are over 15,000 players that are in the minor leagues that have equitable skills, but have not been called up for some reason or another. And if you were to take every major league player that's ever played the game since the beginning of time, they don't even fill up a stadium.
Yeah.
So for those people to make the major leagues, they're the cream of the crop. And even the worst of the worst is better than most of the people sitting down in the minors.
Oh yeah, because I even know, like, back then when it come to really talented baseball players, they didn't get to that level, very quickly. They had to like work themselves up. Like the one about like the first black baseball player, didn't he stick in the minor leagues for like 6 years until he got to like the majors?
Well, he played in the Negro leagues, which is a completely separate league from Major League Baseball. Then he ended up going 2 seasons in the minor leagues, and he was such an outrageous player that they couldn't help but bring him to the majors, and that caused its own racial tensions and.
Oh yeah, with the context of all that, yeah.
Sean, welcome to the stream, brother.
Yeah.
Hi, Sean.
How you doing?
Hello, Sean.
Hello. But yeah, I think we're gonna get out of this rut that we're in with the bats.
Me too, Sean. Me too.
Everyone's pressing, but I mean, look, Giancarlo is hitting singles, CNI singles, hitting them hard. And when he generally starts to get going, it starts off with CNI singles through the infield, and then it's line drives, and then it's the missiles.
Yeah, it could always be like a false start. Like with my local soccer team, they, when they went into the previous season, I think they like drew for the first 6 games, and then for the rest of it, they were just winning all of them.
Yeah.
So it could be a false start for the Yankees, and then they really get into the stride.
Yeah.
Well, we're a little over a third into the season, so they've been playing since late March. For the regular season, so
that's a long season, though. It's a long season.
In baseball is the longest professional season for sports, but with regard to the Yankees, we had some key players that started the season out injured, so we ended up starting with some unknown quantities. They didn't look very good up front, but they shaped up fairly quick and have been doing very well. And the aspect that we had been counting on was the hitting that has been great. And now all of a sudden it's silent. So
I was going to say, though, you do want to get like your reserved and draft players to play early to get them into the flow of things and the experience, because those players later down the line will really come in handy. Because if you save a reserve player until later in the season and they've got no experience whatsoever, apart from watching up from the sidelines, when it comes to their time to bat, they'll like really foul it. So you do want to get them out as early as possible. So that could always be a positive.
Yeah.
John, the Beagle Dad, welcome to the stream, brother. Appreciate it. Appreciate you showing. The one of the key players that was on the injured list for the Yankees was fellow by the name of Giancarlo Stanton, and he's been a long-term baseball player since he's come to the Yankees many years ago. He's had a progression of injuries. He's getting older, but he's an incredible hitter. He has saved us in the postseason more times than you can imagine, and taken us
what's the
without his performance last year.
What's the cutoff age for baseball players?
What's the what?
The like cutoff age where they say, where they say, you're getting on in your years now, so we don't really want you to play anymore.
Late 30s.
Well, it's probably around 37, 38 in that area, because it is a long, drawn out season.
Yeah.
Between 37 and 40.
Stanton is starting to age to that point, but he's gotten injured a lot younger. The thing with Stanton is this guy, he came back from the injured list and his second hit, he hit the damn ball 111.1 miles an hour.
Oh,
I mean, if that thing hits somebody in the head, they're dead. He
oh
just
yeah,
hits
no,
with that
definitely.
much volume and velocity,
Ouch.
and that's part of the reason that he gets hurt is because of that violent swing.
Swing.
He
I
ended up
agree,
having two bouts of tennis elbow in both of his arms, so that's why he started the season on the injured list because he couldn't pick up a damn bat or much less swing it.
Yeah, also, baseballs are
he's
made of
taking
very
some-
sturdy material, so it could kill someone.
Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
For real.
But,
For real.
I will tell you what, he hits line drive home runs to left field, and if I was a ticket holder and he came up to bat, I'd evacuate the seat. I would watch football.
I'm running for the hills, man.
Hey, Eric, welcome to the stream. Appreciate you being here, brother.
No, thank you for having me.
Well, this has been good.
No, there was another guy who joined in the chat.
But Ken, you mentioned something that I really liked. What you mentioned is, a lot of people talking about, the June, issues we have, and you mentioned it, and I'm glad you mentioned it because, this year in particular, the pitching's not the problem. Usually when we go through a slump, it's a combination of both the offense and the pitching. Right now, we've seen some great starts from our starting pitching, so that's a positive all of us Yankee fans need to see through the struggles we've had recently is that our pitching is there. It's the offense that needs a different approach at the plate. And I think that's something to remember because, as I said, I'm not trying to reiterate, but usually this is a combination of both pitching and offense that equals this, downfall, domino effect that we sometimes have in June. So you have to look at the positive. Our starting pitching is looking really good. Max, I feel really bad for Max, Clark, and Will Warren, especially the last 3 games.
See, I would say that pitching is
also,
definitely an important part of your team because you could have a really great hitter, but without a good pitcher, you could be lining up the opposing team to score like home runs or really good plays during the game. So you need a good hitter, but you need a good pitcher, and you need a good catcher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
a team
AD,
game.
welcome to the stream. The Yankee rotation for pitchers lined up to be one of the best in baseball. By the time spring training broke and we actually got to the season, we lost 60% of our starters. So we started with a guy who pitched 3 games last year at the major league levels, and he got beat up pretty hard. We had a guy who we pulled from the scrap heap. He was dumped by another team, and he couldn't make even halfway through the game before he had given up a ton of runs, and we were essentially out of the game by the time he left.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
so
Max.
even though I don't follow baseball, I know that the Yankees have been really good at producing like star players, going all the way back to like 1920s, 30s. They've been really good at that.
Yeah. I mean, you had the Ruth, you had the Garrett, you had the Maggio, you had Mantle, Berra, all those guys all throughout. And the Yankees have always been – they got the most World Series championships and it's like by a long shot.
Yeah, and they're also the most like
27th
recognizable
before our
baseball
28th
team.
Oh yeah, the Yankees are definitely the most recognizable baseball team for sure. For sure.
Right. But it's a marathon. Our seasons are marathons because it's 162 games in the season. It's in the summer. They got double headers. You're playing almost every day. So yeah, it's a hard sport to stay consistently great at during a season. You're gonna have your little lows and dumps, and then even this rut that we're in right now, it's been like a few misplays on defense, and then our offense not hitting.
Well, especially since you said like
and a couple
162
mistakes
games, that's not like 162 games is nothing to scoff at. It's a, as you said, a marathon. but it's
Yeah.
like a triple marathon when it's 162. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
I mean, if you tried to do 162 games back to back, you wouldn't be as like fortuitous in the first games than you will be in the last ones.
Yeah.
Well, right now, the Yankees schedule, we are at game 7 of 16 in a row. So they're playing 16 days in a row.
Without a
Some
break.
of it in the Bronx, some of it on the road. So it's travel back and forth, and that's just brutal. And as much as everyone likes to think that these guys are baseball players and baseball players only, they have families, they have children, and separation is tough on any professional athlete.
Oh yeah, no, it's exactly the same with like soccer, where you'll have players who play for a team in a local stadium, but then the next day they've got to jet over to Europe to play another game, and then they come back, and the next day it's like, right, we've got this game at like 3 p.m. and it's like, well, do we not get a break?
Yeah, I can't imagine some of this back-to-back, stuff that some of these athletes are able to do.
Exactly, yeah. It's not, and I would ever say, oh, I could do that, because if you really put me through the ringer, I'd probably collapse on the second day.
Me too.
All right, quick note. For those of you that are in the stream that haven't, please hit the like button. If you are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and share this channel out to get this type of quality content.
Do you have a super chat button? Because I'll donate some money if you want.
I don't do money. I don't need it. I do this for the sheer love of the game and the sport.
Oh, yeah. No, I wasn't saying that. I was just saying, but, I can throw something your way. But I will subscribe and like.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Ken.
Right, I appreciate that.
Got a new sub. This is really interesting.
So I have another subscriber this time, another one from Europe. So most appreciated.
I'm really
right now.
Cool.
We are at 128 subscribers, so we passed our 125 milestone. So the next goal that we're going to be shooting for is 150. I want to extend my appreciation to all of y'all that have supported this channel from day one. We haven't been alive that long, and
no, hey, I'll share I'll share your channel to my subscribers, because I've got like a load of American subscribers, so they'll like this type of stuff.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, Bear.
Oh, you're welcome.
By the way, my nickname is also Bear.
When you say that's your nickname, do you mean Bear in the sense of the LGBT sense, or Bear in just it's
Bear in the sense of big guy?
Oh, fair enough.
He's a big dude.
and I'm a retired Navy man. And,
oh, nice.
When I was young. When I was a younger guy, guys would like to try to challenge me when I put them in a bear hug and squeeze the life out of them until they didn't want to play anymore.
Were you like ship Navy or submarine Navy?
Ship, surface. Actually, I was amphibious. Then I was SEAL Team Support Special Warfare. Then I went to combatant, where I was on shooters and did combat coordination for missile strikes. Oh,
you really started good then with like the amphibious support and stuff. What the hell?
Yep. Well, like I said, I did a 31-year career. I had a lot of diversity. Before that, I was a collegiate baseball player with aspirations of hoping to come to the major league forum, but things in life happen, and I ended up with a different path, and my love of the game never ended. And now that I'm an older guy and a little bit more retired, I have time to dedicate to it. And in this newer sense of today's technology, you can reach out and meet friends, have fans, across the globe.
Yeah.
A lot of the people that are here in this chat, I've never seen face to face. There are a few that come up, and we have good discussions, and we talk about the sport that we all love. But it's common interest, and it's a great thing.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have like these type of discussions. Could I ask them, like, what type of ship were you on? Was it like aircraft carrier or like destroyer or battleship?
I was on cruisers, destroyers. I was on a minesweeper, which was freaking 6 months of living hell. A
Oh
wooden
yeah,
boat
no, I
that
can imagine
does
so.
that tries to blow shit up and it leaks. It leaked all the
Yeah.
time. So you'd go to bed and there'd be a foot of water on the ground on the deck. I'm not doing
Yeah.
Dino.
Yeah, they're also very small, fast ships, so you never really get a chance of like stationary moment.
Right.
Yeah, and I was always underway and we were always getting shot at on that damn thing, so I didn't really like that either.
No.
Oh,
So,
Yeah.
when it comes to life's facts and reality, having been in combat more times than I care to mention, getting upset and having tirades about a team slumping it's not really not really something that I do.
oh yeah, it's kind of like discombobulating where it's you're getting shot at, and some guy's just like, "Oh, so what do you think about the new Mets lineup?" And it's like, really?
That's good. I like that.
As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, one of my duty stations, I was stationed at RAF Brodie there in Wales, working
Oh,
with the SOSA Center. My youngest middle son was actually born in Haverford so
oh,
I've been to the UK and I've done the soccer thing for sure, or football as y'all call it. And
yeah. Because
on
I know when it comes to like
deployments,
America and
you know,
Europe, it's completely separate. Where football in America is American football, and when you go to like the rest of Europe and probably like South America, football to them is soccer.
exactly. But it's being more so adopted here in the States as football to be more of a contingent that's universal, and they're
Yeah, because
importing
they
a lot
didn't.
of.
I know with the Americans, they didn't want to call it rugby because American football is very similar to rugby, apart from like one or two things. But the Americans obviously
No
like didn't want to
bullshit.
call it rugby.
Rugby is brutal. Those guys
Yeah,
don't wear
basically
pads and they hit like
rugby.
hell.
Yeah, yeah.
I played. My ship was down in Australia, and they wanted to have a rugby match with the local team. I never had my ass kicked so hard. I was like, you know what? This is no sport for a girl. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, the whole thing of like rugby is played by gentlemen, but when you play it, you turn into a brute. That whole thing.
So there are sports that are worldwide that get a lot of attention in their particular reasons, and like one of the ones I still don't get to this day. When I was in the UK, there were a lot of people that like cricket. For me, I'm thinking like, what the hell is this? They're doing some
Oh
overhead
no,
stomp.
cricket! I don't get me wrong, cricket is terrible. It's the most boring sport. It's like baseball with extra steps and a smaller field. It's
Oh,
terrible.
that's great. That's great. Oh, that's great. I've never heard it explained like that before.
Literally, I mean, at
But
least with at least with baseball, you've got the excitement of the base runs and the home runs and the hitters and the catchers. But with cricket, it's just let me bounce the ball off to the side, and he runs to the side, and someone goes, right, now he's got 20 bogey points. That is now added to the 40 bogey point total, which makes it a 2 ace. It's impossible to follow.
well, I tried following it for 3 years, and I could never never get the hang of it. I said this is a retarded baseball, and I don't
It
care
is.
for it.
It is. Yeah, it's a retarded baseball.
And then some of the Brits, we would go out and do old man softball, and they're like, we don't understand the sport. Hit the ball, run to the base. That's it. You just hit the
Oh
ball, run to
yeah,
the base. So
yeah.
it's a cultural difference.
Yeah, we call it rounders, but instead of using a baseball bat, we use a traffic cone, and instead of a baseball, we use a plastic football. That's what it's like for some parts in the UK.
Yeah.
So it's like baseball with a bigger ball, and instead of instead of a bat, it's just someone stolen a traffic cone from a construction site.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, the thing that I didn't that agitated me in the UK was the driving. Driving is insane in the UK. First of all, we're used to driving on the exact opposite side of the road. So when you're driving a U.S. car on a UK road, you're sitting in the wrong side.
Yeah.
And this something that you don't have a lot of throughout the U.S. are roundabouts.
I'm guessing the second part is the lack of US cars. We've got the really shitty compact cars that look like little boxes.
Yep. And part of what they did when we were stationed there is they called them Brody bombers. U.S. people had bought a local car as a secondary car, so it would get handed off from one family to the next.
Which car was it?
I had a Centron, I think is what it was.
Oh. Was it a little one that was like a 4-seater, but only 2 doors?
It was basically a box on wheels, and if you ended up crashing into it, you had a built-in coffin because it wasn't going to.
Yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah, terrible car.
Well, it was a terrible car. And the other thing that I hated in the UK were the hedgerows. I was coming down from Brodie, Newgale, and where the base was at, it was up on top of a hill. I was coming down, and it was raining sideways. I'd never seen that hard rain go sideways. I started skidding. I launched the car and landed on top of a hedgerow. The guy shows up. He says, "That's my father's. That's my father's hedgerow. I'm gonna get you off of here and push you down to the bottom of the hill because he's going to charge you for damaging his hedgerow." I was like, "He's going to charge me for an accident?" And it was going to be like 5,000 pounds, $10,000 to repair that damn rock wall.
Yeah, it's like that with the UK because a lot of people's stuff is on like main roads or country roads, which is like really annoying.
Yep. All right, guys, come on. Baseball talk. I know you got something.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, the lineup is out.
Come back to baseball.
Well, Ken, I gotta head out. Ken, I
I appreciate.
Oh, sorry, sir. Ken, I gotta head out. We have that interview with Kip Gross on New York Yankee Mania at 4 p.m. and I gotta head out and get prepared for that. So thank you, Ken, for having me on. Great to see you, Sean, and great chatting with you. That was awesome to have somebody from overseas to talk baseball about. And thank you, Ken, as always. Thank you for everybody in the chat, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Ken, thank you again.
Thanks for joining me. Have a good night.
Appreciate it.
But the Yankees did post their lineup for tonight.
All right, let's hear
tonight's game. All right, leading off, playing center is Grisham, and then batting second is Judge, playing right field. Bellinger's third, playing left field. Goldschmidt is in cleanup, playing first. Chisholm is batting fifth, playing third. Rice catching. Volpe is shortstop. And then Dominguez playing DH and Peraza at second.
You just said Rice is catching?
Rice is catching.
Oh my God. Okie dokie. That is definitely a different one. It shakes the lineup up some, and
I'll say the baseball teams have like positions on the field the same way like soccer teams do. Do you know where they spread them out across like the midfield or okay.
So
don't know if he froze there.
Yeah,
I think he is frozen.
No,
you're fine.
Sean, are you there?
Did I freeze?
Yeah, I think Sean's frozen because you're fine.
All right.
Now he's talking. I hear him now.
Ah,
Sorry, it was lagging. I don't know.
oh,
Huh.
yeah, because you were fine then. It was just him. He froze and then come back and should join back then.
I hope so.
I was going to say then is with like the baseball in New York, is it just the Yankees or is there another baseball team?
The Mets is a National
Oh,
League
the
team.
Mets. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
across the country, there are baseball teams scattered. So there's a lot of traveling. West Coast trips are extremely hard for East Coast teams.
Yeah, because I always thought it was like one baseball team in area, like like Boston Red Sox and stuff like that.
Yeah. All right, welcome back, Shad. Appreciate you being here, brother.
Yeah, no problem. But what are your thoughts on that? Rice starting as catcher.
I don't think he's a very good catcher, so I don't have a lot of good thoughts about it.
Was Rice is Rice a new like a new player or like a new player to the Yankees, or has he been with the Yankees for a while?
He came up last year as a rookie. This year, the guy has come up and he has incredible power, but he doesn't. He's played as a designated hitter, so he hasn't had a position on the field that he plays regularly.
Oh, so he's like ambidextrous. He's okay.
He hasn't.
Yeah, he has
found his niche
versatility. Yet. But yeah,
he could catch. He could catch. He just doesn't do it well. He
Yeah.
plays first base. He does it adequately. And with the Stanton return, his at bats are going to become much more limited because they can't get him on the field regularly enough.
Yeah, he's like ambidextrous, where he's not great in one particular part, but he can do a bit of everything.
I guess the closest equitable is he is a jack of all trades and a master of none.
Yeah, basically he can do a bit of everything, but he's not the best at anything.
Yeah. Do we think the bats are too predictable?
Yeah, it's
I don't think that the bats
we first
are
brought him up
to
play first base and DH. Rizzo went down.
With regard to the bats, I think it's the hitting approach and situational hitting that is not defined, and we haven't done it well.
Well, I mean, I would say that you could have a lineup of bats that are predictable, but if they're really good at doing what they're doing, it's not so much about predictability. It's about how they finish the job. Because if you've got a lineup of bats that are really good at let's say they're really good at striking long pitches or home runs, at that point, it's not so much about what you predict they're going to do. It's how you contain what they're going to do. So even if you've got a lineup of bats who are predictable, it's how you manage the damage.
Part of the older championship variants of our team had a few hitters that had incredible power and a lot of guys that just hit line drives and were able to play small ball and score. But the metamorphosis of the game, home runs are exciting. Fan base likes to see the big bombs.
Oh yeah, I've seen people fight each other over the baseballs.
Yes, and this team has been redesigned where it tries to utilize more of the home run aspect. And being an old school ball player, teams that live by the home run when it comes to the postseason tend to die by it because you're facing the top quality pitchers out there, and they can manage to muster themselves around power hitters like that.
Oh yeah, but I mean, even if you've got a line of hitters that, even if they don't score home runs, but they score like long pitches, you could expect that going into a game, and know for a fact that you've got to send all your catchers far out the field to catch these balls. It's not so much predictability; it's containability. Because
Right.
you might have there could be a batter that goes up and it goes, oh, he's gonna he's gonna score a long pitch, but it's gonna be within field. If he scores a home run, you're pretty much out of luck. But if you've got a batter that goes up and scores a home run all the time, but this one time he scores a long pitch, if you're not prepared to catch that ball, then it's, as I said, it's not so much about what they're predicting to do, it's how you contain what they're going to do. Because if you've got someone who scores home runs all the time, you've got to be prepared in case he hits a foul ball or like a softball.
Well, if you look at bats, the biggest home run hitter in the league at any given point had about 600 at bats, and he hit 73 home runs. So that's what, about 26% home runs that he's hitting. So that's a lot of at bats that you have to account for.
Yeah. But see, what I was saying is that if someone steps up to bat and you go, "Oh, it's a guaranteed home run, we don't have to move," but then when they hit the ball and it turns out to be a long pitch, you can't be unprepared for that, because if it is a long pitch and not a home run, if you're close to centre field, you've got barely no reaction time to catch that long ball. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a diversity of play and how you adapt
so it's a case of like, you can predict what the players are going to do, but you also have to do that containability where if the player doesn't do what you're expecting to do, you need to be prepared for it.
Okay.
I don't know if that makes sense. I know that was a bit of a bit of jarble there.
It does. All right, folks. We're approaching the 1 hour mark of this stream, and I'm going to go ahead and close it down. I want to thank everybody who participated. Bear, Sean, CT. Thank you all for coming up, and all you guys that were out there in the chat throwing questions out. I appreciate the support that y'all have had. And before I close it down, if you haven't, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share the channel out. And programming notes, Joe on NY Yankee Mania is going to have a personal interview with World Series champion and former Major League pitcher Kip Young at 4 o'clock. Tomorrow morning.
Have me on the stream, Ken. Hopefully could do this again another time. I'll leave you to close the stream off, but thank you again.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you contributing and being a part of the show. Most appreciated.
You're very welcome. Take care, guys.
Yep.
Man, it's got to be like 9 o'clock over there.
Yeah, there's the 6 hour time differential from us. Tomorrow, hey Jacob, how's it doing, brother? Or going, brother? Tomorrow at 8:30, Joe is going to have his coffee, bagels, and pancakes show. I'll be making an appearance there. I will be doing the play-by-play for tomorrow night's final game of the Angels Yankees set. So if you get a chance, stop by, say hey, hit a like. Most appreciated. And I have bowling this evening. If I get done early enough, I may hop into the stream and start calling play-by-plays at that point. So keep your eye out for notifications. And if you get the chance, stop by. Like I says, it's going to depend on when I get back from bowling. If it's a quick, ugly night, then I'll have plenty of time to call a game. But thank you, and I'll end with my traditional "Let's go Yankees," and we'll see you in the funny pages.